Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here with the crypto market update for this week. Don't forget the best place to watch this is on the Brave New Coin YouTube channel because I'm going to be scrolling through crypto Twitter to see what data points we can find that are interesting at the moment. But if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, you can just listen to this as a regular podcast as well. Don't forget that Nexo brings you today's show. So if you're ready to grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, well, just go to nexo.io because you can earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. And so if you're ready to treat yourself, treat your crypto and treat your fiat with the industry's best crypto and fiat services, you should do so because did you know they have compounding interest and this is paid out daily? There are 18 available cryptocurrencies, including BTC, ETH, and Litecoin, plus the stable coins and loads more. Plus they accept 3 different fiat currencies, the euro, the pound, and USD, and there's up to $375 million worth of insurance on all custodial assets. All right, top-ups and withdrawals are available at any time, and there are 0 fees for using Nexo's Earn Suite. All right, if you're ready, just head on over to nexo.io, and of course that is spelled Nexo.io. All right, team. Now, let's get on with the show. Okay, here we are on bravenewcoin.com, where I like to start off, and we can see where is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a little bit under 33,000 US. ETH is just a little bit under 2,000 US. So if we go to the heat map over here, Coin360 heat map, if it will load. Yeah, so there you go. Not too much happening. As we know, Bitcoin, ETH, just kind of been ranging around these price levels for the last few weeks. Market's looking for a definitive signal whether to go up or down. But what else is going on? Well, one indicator that I thought was quite interesting. So Delphi Digital posted this earlier today, just in an update thread from them. But you can see this is just the volume on crypto exchanges. And so, from last year down here, and then it's ramping up as Bitcoin started taking off at the start of this year, January, February, March, April, and then, wow, incredible 200 billion volume there in May. I think that's daily volume. And then now it's just absolutely dropped off in June and dropped off a cliff here in July. So, it's hard to say that we're in a bull market when you can see the volume just dropping off a cliff like that. Very interesting. Now, what's the fear and greed index? Well, fear and greed index at the moment for crypto is extreme fear. So not super happy, not super great market sentiment across the markets at the moment. And look, it's really been this way for, yesterday was the same, last week it was fear, and last month it was fear as well. So not great news across the crypto markets there. What else is going on? So our old friend Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed, he has come out and made some comments today. So he said that a central bank, a digital currency, a CBDC, would undercut the need for cryptocurrencies. So yeah, that is, well, it's not a great signal for crypto. So the Fed are basically saying, if we have a central bank digital currency, there would be much less of a need for open, decentralized cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Not that there's too much that Jerome can do to stop Bitcoin, but could be just a little bit of a signal of antagonistic regulations to come, perhaps. So we get some more signs of this. So Mr. Powell also said that we can expect a digital currency report in early September. So it'll be very interesting to see what that report says. And yeah, the key takeaway, we might not need private cryptocurrencies if the Fed launch a digital dollar or central bank digital currency. So yeah, some slightly ominous signals there from the Fed. Now, it's not all bad news over in Brazil. Their securities regulator in Brazil, have just approved an Ethereum ETF. This follows a Brazilian Bitcoin ETF from earlier in the year. So, you know, Canada have a Bitcoin ETF. Now, Brazil have a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. So, you know, there is positive stuff happening as well, of course. Now, what else is happening? Big news today. Eric Voorhees, who is, I guess, the CEO, the founder. The founder of Shapeshift, right? So Shapeshift, I'm sure you know what Shapeshift is, but you know, it was kind of one of the earliest, not fully decentralized exchanges, but one of the first exchanges that just made a really, really simple crypto exchange with no KYC back in I guess 2017. And then, look, it's a long story, but Shapeshift, they were forced to eventually put KYC across their platform, which Eric didn't want to do because, you know, he is an old school Bitcoiner and crypto person in the true kind of crypto ethos. So he's very against KYC, but his hand was forced. But now he's come out today and, says that Shapeshift is decentralizing in order to maintain fidelity to the most important principles of crypto, specifically self-sovereignty over money. And he says, if we're not doing that, we're all just LARPing. So, you know, this is what I mean when I say Eric is an old school Bitcoiner and crypto person and libertarian as well. So, you know, he kind of goes through it and explains it all in this thread. I won't read it all now, but he basically says, you know, Shapeshift has been a centralized company for 7 years, done their best to, you know, play by the rules, pay their tax, abide by all the necessary regulations. And Eric says, you know, this corporate model is standard for all economic organization at scale for the last, you know, 80 years or so. And that's true. But then he says, if you're familiar with the fourth turning paradigm, you may understand that the organizational format that succeeded during the industrial age might not be the optimal format for the digital age. And so he's basically saying, you know, we're transitioning to a new kind of firm, which of course is a DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization. Absolutely fascinating. So it's great to see Eric and Shapeshift taking this step and moving into this direction. So recommend you read through that Twitter thread. But Eric has also posted more details on in this blog, which is just on the Shapeshift Medium account, in which he explains it all. So again, just kind of the key points. Shapeshift has begun decentralizing. They're going to open source everything. Their corporate structure will wind down, and control of Shapeshift will migrate to those holding Fox tokens. And so this will basically be a big DAO, and all Fox token holders will get to participate in decentralized governance. Now, to kick this off, Shapeshift have begun what they say is the largest airdrop in history, and they've distributed Fox to over 1 million users or customers and DeFi community members. Now, if you haven't, so let's just finish off on that. On this, all the kind of nuts and bolts of how this will work are in Eric's blog. So I do recommend you read that. But let's just still on Shapeshift. If you just go to shapeshift.com, if you've ever traded, ERC20 tokens, there's a decent chance that you are eligible for this Fox airdrop. So all you'd need to do is just go to shapeshift.com, go here, airdrop, and just use your MetaMask or paste any of your old ETH addresses in here and just check eligibility, and boom, then you can just claim your Fox. Easiest airdrop that we've seen lately. And yeah, so there's a lot of happy people today that are getting Fox tokens, and yeah, that token is doing quite well today as a result. All right, what else is happening today? Well, our old friend Mr. Jackson Palmer, who is best known as the guy behind Doge. He created Dogecoin way back in the day as a fork of your Litecoin, I think. So he's just posted this thread today saying, "I am often asked if I will return to crypto or begin regularly sharing my thoughts," and he says, "No, I am not going to return to crypto," and he just briefly explains why. So not going to read all this out, but the key point, he makes the key point here. Yeah, no, it's this one. He says, "After years of studying it, I believe that cryptocurrency is an inherently right-wing, hyper-capitalistic technology built to amplify the wealth of its proponents through a combination of tax avoidance, diminished regulatory oversight, and artificially enforced scarcity." Yeah, and I mean, one way of reading that is that's kind of like a backhanded compliment, right? I mean, he's not wrong. That's just one way of looking at it. And just to kind of sum that up, here's a good meme summary. So again, that's what I just read out from that Twitter thread by Jackson. And it's like, well, Jackson, you say that like it's a bad thing. Is it though? I don't know. Anyway, just interesting that, Mr. Doge has come out and said he's still anti-crypto. Doesn't even really mention Doge. Anyway, let's move on. Tell you who is still a Doge fan is Elon Musk. Normally just like to cover Elon just quickly in these weekly updates just to see if he said anything new or interesting about crypto. And well, he hasn't really. He made a couple of comments this week, but nothing too much of note. But I did see this morning he was talking about in the context of why he's trying to help make sure that humanity becomes a multi-planetary species by obviously setting up bases on the moon and Mars and so on. He pointed out today that population collapse is a much bigger problem than people realize. And that's just for Earth. Mars is going to need a lot of people because obviously no one living there yet. And so I just thought, yeah, interesting. You can see that the global fertility rate or the average number of children that women have has dropped from, 4.5 back in 1950 to today. It's basically 2 children per woman today. So that's over halved just in the last 60, 70 odd years, and it's dropping all the time. And so Elon says, obviously, this is a major problem. And interesting data point, did you know that adult diaper sales growth is higher than baby diaper sales growth? Just another signal of our aging population. Quite scary to think about it in those terms. All right, let's keep it moving. Do you know who has had an incredible month or week? The team and the players and the holders, anyone engaged with the Axie Infinity blockchain game ecosystem. The thing is just going absolutely nuts, right? So here's this chart here just shows that this is their Axie Infinity revenue growth. Basically took 3 years for them to earn their first 10 million, 3 long years. And now, they're just making 2 million every 2 days at the moment in revenue. Quite amazing to see. And here's another Axie chart. So this one shows daily active players in yellow and Discord members in green, and both, just going kind of hockey stick exponential as players around the world are playing. And, this is all about the kind of the play to earn idea, right? So you can, I think essentially, you can play this blockchain game and earn in the AXIE token. You can try and collect mystic AXIEs, which are the rare AXIEs, and you can sell them for a lot of ETH if you can get them. But anyway, the token has been probably the best performing token really in the last month or so, up 700% in the last month. Yeah, just amazing to see. And so just wanted to point out that I did a podcast on AXIE in January with Jeff Jiho Zerlin, who is one of the most active, most well-known kind of AXIE influencers and ambassadors and members of the ecosystem and the team. I think he wrote the white paper. But yeah, it's just a really good listen. If you're interested in learning kind of the background to AXIE and how it all works, do recommend you listen to that podcast. And this is just, just a simple way to understand what AXIE are trying to do, right? So, the Web 2 mindset is the founders make it, or the kind of the big centralized third parties, your Googles or your Facebooks, all good for them. But in Web 3, everyone makes it, or that's the mindset. And it's games like, AXIE Infinity, that kind of make it possible for people to earn real money, or real crypto assets that they can exchange for fiat if they want to. And so there's there's a massive community in the Philippines, for example, that are basically they earning more money playing AXIE than they could be working as a cleaner or in a fast food restaurant or an Uber driver, for example. And so just another tweet here, which says, there's no project that is contributing to the creation of the metaverse more than AXIE, right? And the reason I think that is interesting is because, the metaverse, I'm more and more interested in the metaverse and kind of the companies and the technologies, everything that's converging as we slowly move towards some kind of metaverse environment. If you don't know who Matthew Ball is, he's on Twitter, but he is probably the most kind of ambitious and relentless writer about the metaverse, and he's written all these incredible long form essays on all the kind of different components that need to come together. So just go to matthewball.vc if you want to learn all about the metaverse from Matthew's writings. And interestingly, so earlier this month, him and his crew, bunch of founders and investors, have created a metaverse ETF. And I think that's available on the New York Stock Exchange. The ticker is Meta. And so that metaverse ETF brings together a whole lot of companies that fall into building out the metaverse. So yeah, you can see it here, ballmetaverse.co. And just interesting. All right. That's mostly it for today, guys. So hope you enjoyed that. Please make sure you subscribe to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. And look, if you want kind of a more in-depth breakdown of price action from a joint technical and fundamental analysis, don't forget that you can watch all of Josh's videos here on the Brave New Coin YouTube channel. And all right, that is us for today. I hope you learned something. Keep it locked to the Crypto Conversation. We'll see you next time. But for now, this was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. See ya.